Royal murder, power, conspiracy, and the crown. Some crimes vanish into the past, others leave shadows that history never quite explains. From the offices of Ginny Greaves, private investigator in New York City, this is the Ginny Greaves Crime Files. History often presents kings and queens as symbols of stability, figures surrounded by ceremony, guarded by armies, and protected by power. But the truth is far darker. For centuries, royal courts were among the most dangerous places in the world. Behind the crowns and velvet robes were rivalries, betrayals, and ambitions powerful enough to end lives, sometimes entire dynasties. Because when power determines the fate of nations, removing a ruler can change the course of history. And sometimes, murder becomes the fastest path to the throne. The Princes Who Vanished London, 1483. Two young princes are brought into the fortress known as the Tower of London. They are the sons of the late King, Edward IV. The older boy, Edward V, is only 12 years old. His younger brother, Richard of Shrewsbury, is even younger. At first, their stay appears temporary. The tower is not only a prison, it is also a royal residence. Princes have stayed there before while awaiting their coronation. But something is different this time. Their uncle, Richard III, has taken control of the throne. Soon after the boys arrive in the tower, they begin to disappear from public view. Servants stop seeing them in the courtyards, witnesses stop reporting their presence at the windows, and then one day, they are simply gone. Centuries later, workers renovating the tower discovered two small skeletons buried beneath a staircase. Many historians believe they were the missing princes. If true, it would mean that one of the most infamous royal murders in British history took place behind the stone walls of the tower, and yet the mystery remains unsolved. When rulers feared the supernatural. In earlier centuries, royal courts were not only threatened by assassins, they also feared something far less visible, the supernatural. During the reign of James VI the Wise, in the late 16th century, Europe was gripped by fear of witchcraft. The king himself became convinced that enemies were attempting to use sorcery to destroy him. Storms at sea, illness, and political plots were sometimes blamed on occult forces. This fear helped fuel a wave of witch trials across Scotland. People accused of witchcraft were interrogated, tortured, and executed, often based on little more than suspicion. The line between political conspiracy and supernatural paranoia became dangerously thin, and for those accused, the consequences were often fatal. A royal assassination that ignited a war. Sometimes, a single gunshot can reshape the world. In June of 1914, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was traveling through the streets of Sarajevo. The visit was meant to be routine, but hidden among the crowds was a young nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. When the Archduke's car stopped unexpectedly in front of him, Princip seized the moment. He stepped forward and fired 2 shots. Within weeks, the killing triggered a chain reaction of political alliances and military mobilizations that would become the World War I. Millions would die, all because of a single assassination. When kings became prisoners, royal crime did not always involve murder. Sometimes the weapon was ransom. In 1192, one of England's most famous monarchs, Richard I, was traveling home from the Crusades. Along the way, he was captured by political enemies. The King of England, one of the most powerful men in Europe, suddenly found himself a prisoner. His captors demanded an enormous ransom. To secure his freedom, England was forced to raise a staggering amount of silver. It was a reminder that even kings could become valuable hostages in the brutal politics of the medieval world. The dangerous reality of power. Royal history is often told through coronations, victories, and grand ceremonies. But behind the pageantry lies a much darker story. For centuries, power was concentrated in a handful of individuals, and where power gathers, conspiracy follows. Assassinations, disappearances, kidnappings, accusations of witchcraft, all part of the hidden history of royal courts. Because while a crown may appear to symbolize authority, it has also, throughout history, made its wearer one of the most dangerous targets in the world. You've been listening to the Ginny Greaves Crime Files. Until next time, bye for now. You've been listening to the Ginny Greaves Crime Files from the offices of Ginny Greaves, private investigator, New York City. Until next time.